Welcome guys to another episode of Web Technologies, and the topic for today's discussion is CSS. It stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Uh, let's first study what is the cascading effect. So I've shortlisted a video for your understanding. So we all have seen these viral videos on YouTube. So this is a cascading effect wherein there's a ripple effect created through the entire series. So if I drop one dominoes, that ripple effect affects the entire series of dominoes. So this is called as a cascading effect. Another example you can take is bicycles in a bicycle stand. You push one bicycle and all the bicycles falls down. So this is called as cascading. So why do I need to study cascading in web technologies is if we observe, if we go to any professional website, let's take example of Amazon. So you will feel that there's uniformity in this website. Let's take example of that. So if I go to men's fashion, let's say if I choose this tab, the size of the image which displays the product image is fixed. All the images are the fixed size. Okay, the pricing is also fixed. The font and the color of the pricing is fixed for all the products. So if Amazon has 1 billion products for sale, for example, the the font which shows the pricing, the size of that font, the color of that font, the type of that font is all same across all the products. Okay, if I go to description, so let's take description. So the font which shows the product name in detail or the summary of the product detail, this font is same across the entire website. So if I have 1 million or 1 billion pages on Amazon, you will see that the font which shows the product name in detail is of the same type everywhere. The font which shows the pricing on the pricing on this detailed page is same. Now this font is red across all the pages. The logo for the rupee, if there is any discount, it shows over here. So this is uniform across all the pages. The product's description might change, the product's pricing might change, everything will change, but the website maintains uniformity. So if I format this for one page, I can use it across all the 1 million pages. So this gives me a cascading effect. So let's come back to our theory. So to achieve this cascading effect across the website, so that the website looks uniform, all the pages, they should look like they are from one particular website. It should not be that on one page the font is big, on other page the font is small. For one product the font is big, for next product the font is small. No, it should have uniformity across the entire website. So to achieve that, we have CSS, cascading style sheets. This gives the website a gloss. No, this gives a good makeup to the website also. The website looks very pleasant and gives the user a nice browsing experience also. So we have three types of CSS which we will study in our syllabus: inline, embedded and external. Inline is good, embedded is better than inline, that's better, but the best feel you'll get is in the external CSS. So our aim should master external CSS. Okay, let's first study what is inline CSS. So assuming we have a website, I've taken the brand name Amazon just for the example sake, and our website spans across 100 pages, page 1, page 2, blah blah blah, and this we are studying the first CSS, inline CSS. So page 1, page 2, and like this we have 100 pages. We have the brand name Amazon appearing on each page 3 times. Let's say Amazon, Amazon, Amazon appears on each page 3 times. So page 1 3 times, page 2 3 times. So total how many times will the logo appear? So total it will appear 300 times if the website is of 100 pages. Make sense? So each time when Amazon comes, I will write the font tag and give its space as Vardhana, size as 12, color at yellow, and whatever heading I need to give Amazon, and I'll close the font. So this code I will write how many times for each Amazon. So for this Amazon, to print this Amazon, I have written this code. To print this Amazon, I have written this code. To print this Amazon, I have written this code. So for each page, wherever that heading appears, there itself I will give the coding for that heading. So this heading appears 3 times on each page. So where the heading occurs, that very place I will give the code. So if in one page I have the heading 3 times, so for 100 page I'll be having it 300 times. So how many times will I write this code? This code I will write how many times for the entire website. This code of formatting, giving the proper format to the heading, this I will write how many times. So for if on one page I have 3 times, so for one page I will write 3 times, and for 300 pages I will write it how many times? 300 times. So this is too much. This is too much. So I have maintained a counter for y'all. So let's take first in inline CSS. So if the website, okay, is of 100 pages, I'll be writing the code how many times? 300 times. Second, let's take example of second CSS, which is your, okay, we've seen for inline CSS that the number of times the element appears, those many times you have to code it. So if the element appears 300 times, you have to code it 300 times. Now let's go to embedded CSS. The second type of CSS is embedded. Embedded, what happens is you can code per page. So you can write this code for one page, and on so for that page the code is done. So if this tag appears 3 times for that page, you just have to code it once per page. Once per page. So for page 1, in inline we are doing it 1 per each h1. For each h1 we were doing it once. So h1 was 3 times, we were coding it 3 times. In embedded, you have to just to code it once per page. So I'll just code once for page 1, for page 2, blah blah blah, for page 100. So total how many times do I have to code for a website of 100 pages? Total I have to code it how many times? So the same code will be repeated 100 times. So the redundancy has decreased. So when if inline was 300 times, so your embedded has 33%, 66% reduce the work by bringing the count to 100. Okay, now let's go to the most superior one, which is the external CSS. External CSS, you just have to code it once. You just have to code it. Yes, you hear me correctly. You just have to code it once per website. So even if the website contains 1 billion pages, a big website such as Amazon, even if it contains 1 billion pages, you just have to code that once and link that to each page of your website. So code it once and save it in a .css files. In a the file will have extension .css, and that CSS file we have to link to all the pages on which we have to show the effect. So even if the website contains 10,000 pages, what you have to do is just link this CSS to those 10,000 pages with the help of a link tag. This is the tag which we have to study with the help of the link tag. So now the redundancy has reduced drastically. So if I use the third type of CSS, which is external, then I just have to code it once. So where you had 300 and now you reduced it to 1. So CSS has many advantages. So it saves time so that you can reuse the code, right? So where I had to code it 300 times, now I can only code it. So if I was using only HTML, see, the tags of CSS and HTML are different. HTML and CSS they both have different tags. Okay, they are not same. Okay, they might look similar, but they are not same. HTML tags are different and CSS tags are different. The syntax or the name of the if you want to change the font of a particular element in HTML, what we use font, and the attributes of font are face, size and color. But these are for HTML, they might not be same. They have with a slight difference in your CSS. So when CSS does it, CSS uses this. So for font face, it uses font family. For size, it uses font size. For color, it uses color. And if the CSS property has more than one word, it is separated with a hyphen, and there is a colon between the. This we will study in detail. So I just want to reflect here is CSS and HTML tags are not same. They are different. So HTML takes a lot of time because you have to code it exclusively. But in CSS, what you do is you can just write once, as in external CSS, and that once can be used across all the million pages. Page will load faster naturally when the number of codes will when the lines of code will reduce, the page will load faster. The program will become smaller in size, it will naturally load faster. So less code means the download time is faster, easy maintenance. So now later on I realized that I need to modify my website. Okay, these websites, they go across a maintenance phase, a modification phase every few months. So I realized, no, this yellow is not looking pleasant. I should change the logo to red color. So I should change the logo to red color. This is what I feel. So now if I use HTML, I'll have to change the from yellow to red at every place. So I have to make the changes how many times? I have to make the changes how many times? 300 times. But if I use external CSS, I just have to make changes at one place. I just have to make changes at one place and my code is done. So I'll just change this yellow to red and all my 10,000 pages will take effect and the code will change. So it shows over here it is easier to maintain a CSS, and CSS contains superior styles to HTML. The styles which are there in HTML are very limited. So as I told you, as I have shown you all over here, if I need to play with the font, HTML gives you very limited sort of attributes, face, size and color, but CSS gives you a very big vast variety of the attributes. So the number of options are always more in CSS. It gives you wide array of attributes. Okay, and multiple device compatibility. Websites made with CSS can run on all the devices, whether it is cell phones, your mobile phones, your PC, your laptop, your iPads. So all these can support the CSS websites, and all the browsers, the current and the future browsers, they all support CSS because CSS is from the W3C. CSS is approved from whom? It is approved by the W3C. W3 is the governing body of the internet, which governs the rules of the internet, the World Wide Web Consortium. So this is the governing body which defines rules and protocols which will be applied on the internet. So CSS is approved and certified by the W3C consortium. So it follows all the global browsers will support CSS. So these are advantages of CSS. Now let's take a small example of CSS. So let's start with inline CSS first. Let's start with inline CSS. So let's take a small I just need to I just need the structure of the website. Okay, so I start with this body and HTML. Okay, so if I were to write a H1 heading, okay, Neswadia College of Commerce. Okay, this heading. Okay, now if I need to apply some CSS to it, let's start with inline CSS. Let's start with inline CSS, means where the heading appears, there only the formatting will appear. So I will not use font. Font is for HTML. I want to use CSS. So for CSS, what we have to do is you have a style attribute. Which attribute? Style attribute, and in double quote you have to give the styles. So where the H1 occurs, there itself you have to give the styles. So let's give some styles to it. So let's first change the font family. So if you want to change the font, what you can do is font family. So then colon, there's no equal to, this is colon, this is the property, and this is the value, and in between you have the colon. So font family I'm using Vardhana. If you want to give more, separate them by with a semicolon. And if you wish to also give, let's say, the background color, so like this is the, so when I'm selecting this line, this background color which is blue, this is background color, and what I see is the font color, so this is the color. So let's change the background color also to green. So if you have to give multiple, you can give, and you can hit enter and give on new line also, no problem. Semicolon, and I'll also change the font color also. So the color means the font color, and the background color means the strip, the color of that strip will change. Okay, so I have set these three attributes. So HTML does not take blank spaces, so you can give n number of enters. So H1 inline CSS, you have to give the style where you are writing the element. So style, font family Vardhana, background color green. I just align them together so that you understand. And the color of the font will be blue. So the strip will be green and the color will be blue. No spaces over here, directly you can give. This is the last one, there's nothing after this, so you can skip the semicolon or you can give the semicolon, it's up to you. And now we have Neswadia College of Commerce H1. So this will take effect, so let's save it. So let's save this web check. Okay, inline CSS folder, and I will save it as inline CSS dot html. So dot html and save. Once done, let's run this. Now if you see, it has taken this effect. The strip is green and the font is blue and the font face is, so see, background color is green. So if I change the background color to red and I save and I refresh, this strip will become of red color. And if I change the font color from blue to any other color, white, red and white should be a nice combo. Okay, and now the font to, if you want to change the font, let's change it to Arial. Okay, so similarly, now if I want to print another college name also, let's say St. Mira's College for Girls, then I'll give H1 St. Mira's College for Girls, and if I save this, it will also take the effect. Clear? But if I want to change the strip of Saint Mira from red to blue, then again I'll say making sense. So inline CSS is wherever you are giving the element, there itself you give the styles for that in the styles attribute. So if I take the third college, Ferguson, okay, so let's change something for Ferguson. Let's change the font style to oblique fonts. I'll share this details with you what all we can set. So I'll also add semicolon and font style as oblique, so this will be a bit in italics. Clear? So like this. Okay, how many words are there in Neswadia College of Commerce, and our space is between them, very standard space, right? If you want to increase the space between them, so what you can do is word spacing and inches. So 0.5 inch means half an inch. So if I want to increase the spacing between the words, so I'll say word spacing 0.5 inch, save. I've increased for Neswadia. So when I run this for Neswadia, the spaces will increase. So like this you can give the styles. So what I am giving over here is your CSS, and where I am giving the tag, in that itself I am giving the styles, is your inline CSS. Clear? Okay, now let's try external CSS. So what is, no, let's try embedded then. This is done, where we are giving the element, there itself we are giving the CSS. Now let's try the second one, page wise. Embedded is your page level. So I'll save this as control C. Okay, and now let's save it as embedded CSS folder, and I'll save it as embedded CSS. Extension will be .html, and you save it. So what happens over here in embedded is you go to the head. So as title is the child of head, you can also give the style as a child of head for your embedded CSS. So now what we can do is, instead of giving the style over here, no need to give the style over here, you can just give the style over here. This is, we are formatting what? We are formatting the H1s. So whenever you come across a H1, this is the syntax. Give this style to each H1. So whenever you come across an, this is called as a selector. This is the proper, this is, okay, don't use the style keyword. So this is called as the selector, this is called as the property, and this is called as the value. So in this page, this means, this style is meaning, in this page whenever you come across any H1, give it this style. Simple. So whenever we have to write a H1, we don't have to write the styles, because the styles it will take from the head. We just have to write this H1 Neswadia, H1 Saint Miraz, H1 Ferguson, and where in the head, in the style tag, this is the selector. So wherever you will come across H1 in this page, that H1 will take this style. So if I save it, this is embedded CSS. Let's run embedded CSS. Here you go. If I make changes, over here, color becomes blue. So it will take effect for all of them, and when I refresh, it becomes blue for all. Am I understood? This is called as, okay. So if I have a paragraph after Ness Wadia College, if I have a paragraph P and there's some data in it, I need to search for some data. I need to search for some data. Okay, let's take this data. Okay, this is the paragraph tag, and I close this paragraph P. Now I want to format this. So whenever there's a paragraph in my web page, give it some style. So what will I do? My selector will be P tag. Okay, and my P tag will have these values. What I can do is I can copy them and paste them over here. So for a paragraph, the font family will be, let's say, Vardhana. Paragraph will always be in green color. That the background will be in green. The color will be yellow, and word spacing will be 0.1 inch for a paragraph. So whenever it comes across a paragraph, I don't have to give any styles over here. I've given it for the page. Whenever it comes across P, it will give it this style. So background color is green and the color is yellow. I save it, and well, it has not taken the style. Okay, let me check why. Let me check why it has not taken the styles. Okay, paragraph, font family, background color, what's taking. Yes, we have the P tag, right? Save it, hit enter. Let me check. Okay, it's sorted. There was a double quotes over here which I removed, and I save it and I refreshed it. It has taken the effects. Okay, so like this you can give it for each page. This is called as which? Embedded CSS. Now let's take external CSS. Okay, I'll copy this, I'll paste it, I'll save it as, make a new folder, external CSS, and in this what I'll do is I'll save it. I'll have to make two files, one the HTML file and one the CSS file. So the HTML file I'm naming is college so I'm naming the HTML file as college, and I'll remove all these styles and make a new file out of it called as CSS file, called as, that will only contain the styles. So you can give it as per your whatever you wish to give. And similarly for the P selector, so you can follow this style. This looks better. As it is, they don't take the leading blank spaces. So enter doesn't make much of it. Okay, and you can close this over here. Now whatever the styles are there, I'm saving it in a CSS file. Save it, and in the same folder I'm giving it as my styles. Okay, you can give any my styles in tech dot, and you have to give the extension as CSS. So see over here, cascading. You see cascading style sheet. So you have over here, and the name of that is, I'll copy this name and save. So in my folder In my external CSS folder, I have two files, the college and the. Now I'll have to just link this with all the pages as we had shown over here. What we have to do is just link the CSS with all the pages. So how do I link it? With the help of a link tag. Okay. So this is the syntax of the link tag. I'll explain it. So in the college, what I'll go is I will not require style over here. What I'll require is just link tag. This link tag has three attributes. Type of the file which I am linking to, the file is a text or CSS. Which file? href. What was the name of the file? My style CSS. And relation is of style sheet. The link tag will close. That's all. So this page will pick up all its styles from which file? My style enumtech .css. Okay. So wherever there is h1 from there, whenever there is p from there, and whenever there is, okay. So no need to give it. If I was giving it over here, style equals to whatever, that was inline CSS, right? When I was giving it in the head over here within the style tag, that was embedded CSS. Now I am just making a CSS file extra and linking that file over here. So this page will take its effect from this. Okay. Now let's change the color from green to, for the paragraph the color will become brown. Okay, the color of the paragraph is brown. Now I go, I've saved this, open it, and here you go. Clear? Are all the three types of style sheets understood? Inline, embedded, and external. I'll just take a quick recap and then I'll disconnect. So in inline, where we are giving the element, there you have to give the styles. In embedded, in the head, make a style tag. This h1 is the selector, the curly bracket give all the properties and values, close the selector, take a new selector, give the styles separated by semicolon, and if there are multiple styles, separated by a semicolon, and the style tag closes. And for external CSS, link it to a CSS file with the link tag which has three attributes: type, href, and relationship, and make a CSS file in the same folder. Clear? Practice this, guys.